Dr. Samia Haq, Professor Mahfuza Khanum, Professor Mohammad Abdul Rahim, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending this inaugural lecture held under the auspices of the National Professor Dr. Sufiya Ahmed Memorial Foundation. When this trust fund was being set up a few years ago, my sister and I, as founders of the trust fund, were mindful to identify and declare the core objective of the fund as aiding the study of the dynamics of Bengali nationalism and state formation in the 20th and 21st centuries, with a special emphasis on socio-cultural trends informed in turn by issues of identity, gender, equality, and women's empowerment in the Bangladeshi context. That this selection was inevitable and indeed unavoidable is purely due to the philosophical underpinnings of Dr. Sufiya Ahmed's lifelong contribution to creating and building on historical narratives bred in the liberal secular tradition and critically examining their adaptability to modern-day state formations in settings as diverse as colonial and post-colonial South Asia and post-Ottoman Kemalist Turkey. In that sense, Dr. Samia Haq's brilliant exposition of and nuanced approach to the key reference points of identity, politics, and inclusion playing a dominant role in informing the present institution-building discourse is indeed a timely one. Dr. Haq's critical examination of societal and political trends, as are often cross-cutting, is indeed a fortuitous one, coming to at a significant juncture in this nation's history. From the perspective of constitutionalism, Dr. Haq's work before us raises the specter of systemic inequities as are deeply embedded within the socio-political structure as serve to perpetuate cycles of disadvantage. But fundamentally still, and this given the reality of the renewed debate on the tone and complexion of republicanism post-July and August 2024, brings to the fore yet another question, and that is, has the nationalist agenda outpaced and overrun the other exigencies of state and institution building in Bangladesh the past half-century? If so, is this attributable to the genesis of Bengali nationalism, that is, from my perspective, Bengali Muslim majoritarianism, being of far older provenance than the concept of statehood gaining currency in the Bengali political economy narrative? Further still, and with a dominant nationalist narrative taking center stage and informing the pace and direction of state formation, have therefore the constitutionally entrenched ideals of secularism, socialism, democracy, and democratic governance admixed with constitutionalism and rule of law taken a relative backseat? We stand at a juncture in our evolutionary cycle as a state where we are confronted with these questions, emphasizing too that reform is not merely a social requirement and a constitutional need, but rather a moral and an existential imperative. That is precisely where Dr. Haq's lecture today steps in to enrich our understanding of the pathways to fashion an all-inclusive notion of republicanism. I am therefore deeply grateful to the polymath Dr. Samia Haq, for her contribution to that end, and as one of the foremost critical thinkers of our time, to have agreed to grace this particular platform to guide us in that direction. Thank you, Dr. Haq. Thank you.